The lights and the noises of Night City almost overwhelm your senses as you drive down the road, speeding in Slicks's black Lincoln Continental. Slicks, you almost feel like you're home again, like a sense of peace has come over you as a leather steering wheel, you grip it with your hand, and you feel that you just at peace for the first time in many, many days. This is home to you. The city, the noise, the chaos of Night City, the growling engine of your big 454 engine. And the rest of you are Tab, you're in the front seat. You're just kind of looking with bright eyes. It's not often that you're out of Letitia Heights and seeing the bright lights of the skyscrapers off in the distance. It's almost overwhelming to your senses. Alicat, what do you feel at this time as you're in the back seat with your friend Balzac?
First of all, I'm wondering how I managed to lose this coin toss to have to sit back here with Balzac.
Well, Tab, why don't you tell us? You kind of tricked her. You're the one that flipped the coin.
Am I? That doesn't sound like me at all. I would cherish time to get to know our good friend Balzac. So maybe Balzac lost the coin toss to get to sit with me.
Well, regardless, Alicat has clearly, the old Lincoln has that leather retractable armrest that she's put down firmly, and probably another bag on top of that. Balzac, you're sitting in the back, intently feeling the glare that you're getting from Alicat every now and then. And Slicks, are you playing music? What's going on in the car right now?
Let's it's got music kind of low. Nothing. It's kind of in between stations. He's zoning out. He's watching the lights fly by and the neighborhoods fly by. He's almost not even paying attention to the passengers. Just in his own. It's like he's got blinders on. In the zone.
What's going on in your mind? What are you thinking about?
He's after being able to spend so much time back home and seeing the destruction that they kind of left immediately. Being back has reminded him how much he's tried for so long to be a good guy, and it just keeps blowing up back in his face. So he's been, so every once in a while he looks down at his hand as he makes a left turn, and he sees this put together hand that Tab made him. So he's reminded about this terrible time and everything that came before, having to break into some rich dude's house and steal a gun, and he's a bit checked out almost. He's not his lively self anymore.
Tab, describe to us. You guys spent some time before you left Letitia Heights to go to the Afterlife, to the craft a rudimentary cybernetic hand for Slicks. Can you describe it? How rudimentary is it? Is it functiony? Functiony. That's not a word. You know what
It's definitely functioning.
It is functioning.
Absolutely. It's probably like it's not polished or shiny. Tab has collected most of her parts. Actually, she's gotten quite a bit from Alley Cat, but they're secondhand, third hand. I guess this is Slicks' second hand, so that is appropriate. But it's not like the slick, shiny hand that you might get like pay top dollar for. It's a little scuffed. Maybe it doesn't respond as quickly, but it's better than literally nothing. Tab put a lot of minute work into it so that it will hopefully function fairly well. It might need tweaking here and there. But it's definitely good at giving the middle finger. She made sure that function works.
You can have an Emma point for the second hand pun because that tickled me.
Yay.
Balzac, what are you thinking about as you're in the back of the car?
Balzac is looking out the window, and as the lights shine on his face, he feels the glare from Alley Cat, and as he looks back at her, he just grumbles to himself, "Yeah, sorry for saving your life 6 fucking times. So inconvenient for you, so hard done by." And he's wondering which coin toss he lost to be forced to sit with Alley Cat.
And as you finish grumbling to yourself, and just before Alley Cat has a chance to have a snarky comeback, Slicks, you pull in front of the Afterlife Club. And the Afterlife Club, this is the second location. The first was a very famous hangout for folks, very famous solos and Night City personalities like Johnny Silverhand and Rogue and all the if you can name a famous personality in Night City, they hung out at the Afterlife. And of course, in the Fourth Corporate War, when the destruction of Night City happened, the original Afterlife got destroyed. But speaking of legendary personalities, the famous Rogue, partner of Nomad Santiago, former lover and partner of Johnny Silverhand, found an abandoned mortuary or morgue and restarted the Afterlife Club. And this is what you're pulling up to right now. There's a lineup of tombs trying to get in. Half of them are posers that the bouncers will never let in. Half of them, the other half are people that have some level of notoriety, and they're hoping that's enough to get in, and it might be. But as you pull up in front of the front doors, a bouncer looks at the car, points at it, smiles, opens your car door, and goes, "Slicks, buddy, good to see you."
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. You here for a good time?
More business, but
Oh,
yeah, good time.
okay, man. I'll take care of your car. You know I always do.
Hey, thanks, brother. Hey, and he reaches into his pocket, takes this little Eddie clip that he has. He slips him some money. Take good care of it, eh?
He winks, goes, "Anytime, my friend, anytime." And the other three of you will have to open up your own doors. But as you step out of the car, you're almost overwhelmed by the sound, this thumping sound coming from inside the club, and the murmuring of the crowd trying to get in, and the complaints from people saying, "Hey, who the hell are these?" As another bouncer opens the door and lets you go in without going into the line.
Alley Cat, are you sure? Are you sure I'm dressed okay? I've never actually done this before.
And Alley Cat kind of like hooks her arm into Tabs and says, "You look great. Trust me."
Thanks. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Balzac is going to look over to Slicks, and he's going to say, "Slicks, how do I look? Do I look okay? I've never done this before."
Flicks as he looks over Balzac. And then he lifts up his hand where Tab has put that strong middle finger, and he tries to cock it into a thumbs up. It doesn't really work. He's like, "This way." And he shirks his jacket and starts walking towards front door, leaving the other three by the car.
So the Afterlife Club is the tunnel leading into the main club is sort of the Rogues left it mortuary themed, so it's white tiled. It looks like what you think a morgue would look like. It's that tile that you see in every 1980s hospital setting. There's a counter that's been turned, that was like an administrative desk that's been turned into a coat check, and you can see that there's a tiny little guy smoking a cigar. "Coat check." As you shake your head, you continue to walk down, and the double doors open up, and the nightclub fills your eyes. There's a large round bar in the middle. It's sort of like neon blue and white themed. There's dozens of people at the bar doing shots and drinking. There's a couple of pool tables in the back. The pool tables are like blue and purple. There's about half a dozen of them. Everyone's playing pool. And then there's a bank of what do you call them? Benches, the booths. Booths where people are smoking, they're having a good time, they're drinking. And then there's a line of curtained off back rooms lining the back wall. And the music is just pumping, and it's loud, and it's boom, boom, boom. And of course, they're right in front, between the front doors and the bar, there's a giant dance floor, and people are just pumping and their arms up in the air, and you can feel the rhythm kind of going through your body. In fact, you could say that rhythm is a dancer. It's
The rhythm
almost
is
your
gonna
soul's
get you?
companion. Yeah.
Well, upon the rhythm getting Slicks, he stands in this doorway and he breathes in the musk and the stink and the smoke and the alcohol of this place. He hasn't been here in a while, so he just takes a big sniff. And unbeknownst to his friends, he's still got a little baggie of those pills that they found on those Nazis.
Yeah.
And by this time, Slicks has been able to know which drug is which. And so he takes a little bit and he steps back from the line of his friend. And he steps forward. He's like, hey, all right, you guys want a drink? Can I buy you guys anything? He's saying loudly over the din of this thumping and the electronic music.
Do you order by flavor or by color? Like, what's the best drink to get here?
You order by name. Most of
I don't
these
know.
drinks are named after heroes of Night City. So you got the Johnny Silverhand. Most of these heroes are dead too. You got to go out in big style to get a good drink named after you.
That makes sense. Who's your favorite dead hero? I'll have what you're having.
Oh, yeah. You have the Nicky Sticks.
Let's do that.
Nice. Alley Cat, Balzac, you want anything?
I'll
Nicky
have a
Sticks. You get Digital Ray. You get VR Vikram.
I'm gonna have a Balzac.
I think that's
Sadly
just
for us,
water with
you're-
ice.
Yeah, you're not dead yet. You're not on the list.
Be
Balzac.
arranged.
Balzac is gonna look around, and he's gonna say, he's gonna glance at Alley Cat. And he's gonna say, maybe, but not by you.
So Slicks, you go up to the bar. Do any of the others, do you go up with him, or is he going to go by himself? You all
I
three?
want to go with him.
Okay, so you go up, and one of the bartenders, a really large tattooed man, bald with glowing red eyes, leans up and goes, "Hey Slicks, who are your buddies?"
Friend of mine.
Oh, well, any friend of Slicks is a friend of Slicks. So what can I get you?
We're gonna have 2 Nicky Sticks, and whatever these 2 want.
What do you recommend?
Well, Johnny Silverhand's one of the most popular drinks. We've got a couple of new ones. Hey, Raj, what's that new drink? The Cicero.
Give me 4 of those.
4 Ciceros. All right. I warn you, they can be a bit much to handle. It's an acquired taste.
Trust me, I'm used to it.
And you see him, he grabs a vodka, pours about half the shot glass, pours into a cup, takes a pot of espresso, pours that into the drink, and then he takes some spices down from a rack, looks at you and kind of shields his hand so you don't know what and then he pours that in, and then he hands you 4 of them.
Slicks leans forward and say, "Hey, my friend, remind me of your name."
Oh, my name Ernie, man.
Ernie. Of course, Ernie. How could I forget? Ernie, we're looking for a booth. And he reaches back in his Eddie clip and he pulls out another thing and he slides it across this wet bar to Ernie. We're looking for a booth. Perhaps behind the curtains. You think you can
Yeah.
put that up?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Licks. And he he looks and he's kind of pointing and he goes, that one there, there's a couple of tourists in there, but you can tell them to scram.
Thanks, pal. You got it. And Slicks grabs his 2 drinks, his Nicky Sticks and his Cicero. And he just motions to his friends because it's so loud. You know, it's one of those clubs where you have to lean in to yell into somebody's ear to hear even a slight whisper. So he just motions to him this way.
Balzac is going to walk over to the curtain, and he's gonna like throw it open. What does he see?
So as you throw it open, the music, the song that was playing comes to an end, and a new song comes up, and the crowd goes crazy because it's Samurai, it's Johnny Silverhand, and it's Samurai's cover of Nirvana's cover of "The Man Who Sold the World,"
Cool.
and the crowd but it's more up tempo. It's like a metal version of it, and the crowd's going nuts. And sitting at the table, staring doe-eyed at you, the 4 of you, are the most out of place tourists you've ever seen. And Tab, you recognize him. It's the elderly couple that own the RV.
It's amazing to see you here. You're doing so well. How's your chest hole doing? You look great. What are you drinking?
And the old man grabs his chest and he starts to like hyperventilate. And the woman goes, "Oh no, not you. Oh, don't shoot him again. Don't shoot him again, please."
My hands are full. I have 2 drinks. I can't shoot you.
Oh, we are in the wrong place. We were told the Afterlife was a family themed restaurant.
No.
Wait. And Balzac is gonna glance to the elderly couple, and then he's gonna glance at lovely, nice Tab, and he's gonna look back at the elderly couple. He's gonna say, "Excuse me, sir. I apologize for perhaps pressing on a very sensitive issue. Are you saying that lovely woman shot you in the chest?"
Oh yeah, she shot my husband.
What the fuck did you do to deserve that?
Oh, we were just driving down the road.
You couldn't have been driving down the road. That doesn't make any sense. This woman is delightful. She's so kind. She does everything for everyone. And he's going to like sort of reach into his pocket and he's going to glance at Tab and he's going to say, "Should I finish what you started?"
Oh no. It was purely an accident. I was not having a good aim day. I was shooting at someone else.
Oh, you weren't having a good aim day. So in other words, a day that ends in Y.
Yeah.
Right. I apologize, sir, if I caused you any discomfort. And he's going to take his hand off of his side and he's going to look down at his Cicero and he's going to slide it along the table to him. And he's going to say, "Here, this is a drink on her. Although it might not be great for your heart."
Alley Cat reaches over and puts her hand on top of the glass that Cicero has just, or that Balzac has just handed over, and slides it back and says, "I don't think your heart would survive this one."
Would you like to sit with us? Can we join you, or are you gonna stay?
And with that, absolute panic comes over their faces, and the older woman pushes the man out of the booth and goes, "Oh no, it's time for us to get back to the RV." And she almost like drags him as he's like trying to catch his breath.
Drive safely.
And he waves at you, and they run at as full speed as a 70-year-old retiree couple can out of a
Probably
nightclub.
easier to drive safely if they're not getting shot, I would assume.
You don't know the whole story. They didn't start shooting. Someone else started shooting first, and they didn't have the good sense to get out of the way. So it's not really my fault.
I mean, okay, but at the same time, you pulled the trigger. The bullet went into the old man. Whether it's indirectly or directly your fault, you are the master of your fate in that moment.
I fixed him afterward.
He seems like he's fully recovered. And Balzac's gonna roll his eyes.
Look, he had a heart condition to begin with.
That's true.
Tab's not at fault for that. Also, don't go giving espresso and vodka drinks to old people, Balzac.
I just said that maybe it wouldn't be good for his heart, and then I started to pull it back, and then you covered and said, "Oh yeah, this might not be good for your heart." It's my impression of you sounding ridiculous.
I'm the one who sounds ridiculous.
That's right, ridiculous.
As you guys are arguing, Tab, you feel a hand go onto your shoulder. And you look back and it's gray. And they whisper, "Let's take a seat. I think it'd be smarter that way." And can you describe what gray looks like to the others?
Ray kind of looks like a stodgy old librarian. Not quite parent aged for Tab, but just sort of like he looks like he's put up with Tab shit for a lot longer than you would have expected. Just sort of like sandy brown, graying hair. He has a couple more facial implants than the last time Tab saw him, so that takes her a little by surprise. But he's not exactly like the young, hip, solo kind of person that normally frequents the afterlife. Tab was a little surprised when he suggested meeting here.
Yeah, in fact, he's wearing a black golf shirt with a corduroy brown jacket over that, khaki pants, and New Balance sneakers. And he scooches into the booth, and he motions for you guys to join him and to close the curtain.
Great. It's been like, well, time's been a little weird lately. There was some blowing up and some passing out and then some escaping. But how have you been?
Just great, just great. Good to see you, Tabby. You look well.
I look fancy tonight. I've never been here before. Have you been here before?
No, this is not my my usual hangout, but an acquaintance, well, acquaintance of mine owns the place, so thought this would be a good place for us to meet. And it's not likely someone's going to overhear what we're saying with what they say is music.
Yeah. Thanks for your cryptic message. Appreciate it.
Tabby, I know you're in trouble, dear, and I've been doing everything I can to help. I might have a lead on where your friends are, especially what's her name? William?
Billy,
Billy, yeah. I think I know where Billy is.
is she is she safe?
Well, no, no
Okay.
one's safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that there was a caravan of Arasaka buses that came and evacuated your neighborhood, your building, and took everyone in forcefully. And I tried to keep a tab, no pun intended, track on where they went, but I kind of lost them. But I think I know where or how we can figure out exactly where they are.
No, I appreciate it. I guess you kind of know my friends if you've been keeping track. This is Slicks and Alley Cat, and they are fixers, the world's greatest fixers. And this is Balzac. He is really good with his golf bag of tricks. That's
so two fixers with 3 hands and a golfer.
yeah. That's why we need Billy back.
Yeah, you need Billy back. Listen, all right. There's someone I want you to meet who might have a way of helping you, but God, you guys have to be on your best behavior. She does not screw around.
I
But
imagine everyone at the table turns and gives a side eye to Balzac.
Why is everybody fucking looking at me?
Doesn't say anything.
she's what's that expression? F around and find out.
Yes, the old motto of the city of Philadelphia, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's the new motto of this woman. One more thing before I bring her or ask her to join us. Tabby, one of my students, well, they passed away recently in an unfortunate accident, but they were one of the most talented, well, almost as talented as you are, but they extraordinarily talented with agents. And I'd like you to have their agent.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's the only way that I can ensure that we can have encrypted communication between the two of us, and it's a little souped up.
That sounds amazing. Oh, what's their name? What's the agent's name?
Well, that's the controversial part. So my student was a huge, almost obsessed fan of 20th century television. So you can choose one of three personalities anytime that you turn it on. The Blanche, the Dorothy, or the Paul Lind.
That sounds amazing. I will treasure it and I will keep it safe. I definitely won't lose it. Not that I have a history of losing things or people, for sure. Thank you. It's amazing to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I'm glad to see you're safe, Tabby, but the company you keep, sometimes I wonder. And it gives you guys the side eye. And with that, he pulls out his agent and he texts someone. And a few moments later, the curtain opens up, and a strikingly beautiful woman with long black hair, wearing a sort of a motorcycle jumpsuit, and she's got two pearl-handed, very large handguns on each side, and she comes in and she sits at the edge of the bench and she puts her feet up on the table. These your folks there, Gray? And Gray nods. And Gray says to the four of you, may I present to you Rogue? She owns the place. And Slicks, your ears pop up. You recognize who Rogue is. Probably one of the most legendary solos, legendary figures in recent Night City history.
Flicks takes his left hand, careful not to show his robo hand, and reaches it across the table to Rogue. An honor and a pleasure.
She looks at you, kind of leans back, grabs your hands with a few, like just a couple of her fingers like this, and just shakes it. Goes, Slicks, yeah, I know you. I gotta be frank. Usually, I don't deal with people of your reputation or lack of. But Gray here tells me that you four might be the people I need to do a job. And in exchange, I have some information for you.
Slick pulls out a cigarello. That's how cool he is. And he lights it. He goes, we can dispense with the pleasantries.
She smiles at that and leans in. Maybe I underestimated you, Slicks. All right, listen. I know you're looking for people. I don't know exactly where they are, but I know people who do. The El DeCaldos. Friend of mine, Santiago, runs them. Maybe you've heard of them. The news I'm hearing from them is that they've gotten wind of a caravan of prisoners. They're being that have been transported by Arasaka out of Night City up north into the mountains.
Into the
I can put you in contact with my friends in the Avocados and get them to help you lead you there. But I need a favor in return. There's a Militech shipment of sort of low-end electronic goods, laptops, agents, that sort of thing, military tech, making its way through Night City tomorrow. I'm hearing that the 6th Street are going to hit on them, take it out. But the thing is, 6th Street kind of has a symbiotic relationship with Militech. So the Militech folks kind of know that's coming. So they're going to let it go with minimal resistance, if you know what I mean. I need you to ensure maximum mayhem. Slaughter make sure that the 6th Street kill every single one of the Militech folks. And I need you to kill as many in the 6th Street as you can, including the leader of this squad, if you will. Somebody have a particular distaste for, a guy by the name of Gary Rideout III. He's a captain with 6th Street. I need you to make sure he's especially dead. But listen, I need you to make sure that Militech gets really angry at the 6th Street. You make this look like a frickin' bloodbath. You know what I mean?
One, Captain sounds like he's got a stupid name. 2, it sounds fine. Just kill a bunch of people. Great. 3, why would you not just do it yourself? I'm sure you have people who can do this. I'm sure you don't want to be connected to it, and that's why you're going to an intermediary third party, but it
Are
seems
you
like
asking, or are you explaining to me exactly why I've asked you to do this?
I'm curious.
You know what they say about curiosity and the cat?
What?
Fuck around and find out, kitty. And with that, she stands up, pulls a cigarette out, lights it. See you cats later. And she exits the booth.
Great. You've made some new friends since the last time we hung out. Can we trust her?
Yeah, I tutor her son. Well, not her son, more like her nephew. But anyway, she's good people, you know.
You can trust her. She's a legend. She doesn't ask for favors lightly. What we're doing for her is very important. This will also set us up for some good clout for the people when we need it.
Yeah, cloud sounds good. It's been a while since we've had some of that, honestly. Yeah. Balzac. Here's a helpful tip to staying alive when you hang out with us. Don't insult the people who are gonna help us, maybe.
I mean, really the only helpful tip I need to staying alive in your company is not being in your company. Everything else is just a downhill spiral toward an inevitable darkening of my eyes.
Yeah, but we're all headed there anyway, so why not do it with friends?
I mean, true, but I also don't need to take the fucking fast lane.
Just
Balzac. No one's making you stay here.
Ha, I beg to differ. Mrs. Hollingsworth strongly implied that I need to keep Slicks alive. Didn't say anything about you, Alley Cat, however.
Mrs. Hollingsworth loved us, so I'm pretty sure if the next time she's like, hey, you should come over, and then there's neither of us to come over, you'd be in trouble. And you don't want another stern talking to from Mrs. Hollingsworth, do you?
We don't talk about Mrs. Hollingsworth. Let us
brought her
just
up.
say I brought it's not the point. I said we don't talk about Mrs. Hollingsworth. I didn't say I don't talk about Mrs. Hollingsworth. I choose my words carefully. Very
but half the time
specifically.
we can't understand you anyway.
What do you mean you can't understand? I'm speaking English. Do you not
Are you?
understand? Yeah, I'm speaking
Are you?
fucking English.
I appreciate that your accent gets heavier the more upset that you get. I think it's
Listen,
harder.
it's not true.
Right. Are you staying in town? Are you headed back to the Colorados?
I'm in town for a couple of days.
We know this great pizza place if you like mediocre pizza.
Oh God, it's not slimy pizza, is it?
Definitely not.
So I got heartburn the last time I had slimy pizza that lasted me about 3 months.
That sounds about right. We could make you pizza at Pete's. That'd be cool.
What I would probably suggest is you guys have a fun evening, do what you need to do, and then go ambush and do this job. And he slides over a couple of pieces of paper with details and goes, I think this is everything you guys need. There's a map of where they're going to do this quote unquote ambush. I have faith in you, Tabby. I know you can do it. And he gets up, goes, I'll be in touch. And
Tab will impulsively get up from the booth and give him a big hug. She seems to enjoy that. It probably makes him a little awkward.
he goes, yes, indeed. Yes, thank you. And he does that tap thing and he goes, okay, I gotta go. And he
Thanks, Gray. Bye. Okay, guys. So first we drink, then we dance, then we go kill people.
Ooh, I
When's the
like
convoy?
sound of that.
Tab will open up the paper that Gray slipped across the table.
8 in the morning.
8 in the tomorrow morning?
What time is it now?
It's like 9 p.m.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of time.
Do we even have supplies for ambushing and shooting and killing and mayhem causing?
Well, we've got Balzac.
That's true.
I know
Balzac.
some people too.
Yeah. We need, maybe we get to go shopping.
Do you like shopping? Before we forget though, and she picks up one of the glasses. She's like, time to toast. Tab, you want to say some words?
Cicero
The Cicero drink.
was a friend. He did a lot of good and inspired a lot of hope for a lot of people. And sometimes he didn't even make it about himself. That's all I
Cheers.
got.
I'll drink to that.
As you drink the Cicero, it kind of burns going down. Clearly, it's what they added was cayenne. The espresso kind of mixed with the vodka to give you a burst of energy. But you find that when you're trying to talk, it comes out almost haltingly because it burns your throat. So you have to talk with deliberate action.
This feels so weird. I don't understand why I'm talking like this. It's just straight weird.
Ugh.
And with that, another tray of Cicero's. The curtains opens and the bartender puts another tray, salutes, and closes the curtain. And the night gets crazy. It's almost like after your second shot, things get very dizzy and incomprehensible. The music takes over your soul, and it's like a flashback of different scenes. You're drinking, you're dancing on the bar, you're getting yelled at by Rogue to get off the fucking bar. You're drinking more in the booth. You're in another person's booth. At some point, Amy, you find yourself in the RV of the elderly people out in the parking lot, and you're doing shots of Cicero's with them. And
then I
and-
send them to the hospital, I'm sure, to be checked out.
you find yourself in the bathroom, Slicks, just vomiting up your guts while Alley Cat is holding your hair back. And you wake up the next morning. You're all in the RV except for Slicks, who's in the trunk of his Lincoln, except the trunk lid is up. And in the RV, the old people are nowhere to be found, but there is a rooster, and it's waking you guys up. That
As the rooster starts crowing, Balzac is going to crack his knuckles, and he's going to say, "All right, let's fuck some shite up."